Hello, Wichita State. Module 2 is live, and this is lecture 2. This is going to be more on the team mapping and diagnostic. I'm so excited we're here this week. I tell you what, this is such a fun adventure. I know I live and breathe innovation every day, and you're trying to cram in learning about innovation in the midst of all the other things you're doing. So I'm glad we can have this. I want to make this as valuable for you as possible. I hope you know that I want you to be able to walk away at the end of this class fully confident and prepared to deal with both sides of innovation, whether you're representing an innovation idea to executives or whether you're executive hearing the idea, that you can handle either way. Now, I don't know if you know this, I actually was a Wichita State Executive MBA student some time ago. And unlucky for me, they did not have a digital transformation class. If they had, gosh, there's so much pain I could have avoided. Probably, probably 2/3 of my professional failures could have been avoided. Not that I would have learned or listened or actually done anything differently, but the idea is there that maybe I would have had a lot of less pain to live through. Let's talk about the team diagnostic and mapping and what that looks like. We've gone through the pitches, and now we want to talk about what the diagnostic. Last week, you diagnosed your own organization with brutal honesty. 60-second initial elevator pitch, and you had a team discussion during a Wednesday night Zoom. I hope that was fun for you. I really hope it was engaging and something for you to learn from. Not all of this is fun, but it is really good learning. This week, you've got the mid-course checkup, which you will ace, by the way. If you have gone through Claire Christensen's book, you'll ace it just from that. If you've had a chance to pay attention to the lectures and gained some knowledge of transformation concepts, you'll ace the mid-course checkup. I'm not concerned about that. You'll be just fine. They're going to measure me based on how well you do that. So maybe I should be concerned. No, really, this is a fantastic opportunity to show what you can do individually with your next 60-second elevator pitch, but more so with the team. So let's talk about discovery, diagnostic. Let's get to work. First off, that team diagnostic map, it's a lot of discovery. Impress me with your thoroughness in putting on other hats besides your own. This is why I'm having this as a team exercise, not individual, because you have to be able to do discovery, to ask questions as different roles in the organization, as people inside and outside the organization, as subject matter experts of every element of the problem statement, of the available tools or platforms out there that might be involved for solutions. Uh, thanks that this is a team effort, it's not all on you. All right. This mapping is the foundation for your December 6th team 5-minute capstone pitch. It's going to make your CEO sit straight up with the opening because you'll be so good at your elevator pitch. It'll just shine and flow right through you. So let's see here. We've got the diagnostic tools document. That's uh, that's not going to be new stuff, but maybe it'll enlighten you a little bit. Be some tools you can use to bring a team information together. And by the way, if you're concerned about going the right direction with your team project, shoot those earlier deliverables to me. I'll try to get you some feedback back pretty quick. Whether it's the RACI or the gap analysis, the intake form of the student who had the original project you're using, get this in. Just a heads up, excuse me, part of what I look for is authenticity. That is code for I do have ways to test to see what kind of AI was used to produce the words on the page. But authenticity shines through much easier than just what kind of review is there. Authenticity shines through when you've done your work on discovery. In this case, you come together with a team on the diagnostic. If you are able as a team to effectively ask questions from different perspectives, this mapping will be very, very easy. The best way to kind of send this in, though, is frankly a visual that brutally shows barriers, opportunities, and risks. Barriers, I will tell you, when it talks about barriers and competitors in the space, new innovators often make the mistake of one, underestimating the competition. They say they do the same thing, but they really don't. Trust me, they don't. Or they say they do the same thing, but uh, they haven't figured out the way we have a better mousetrap. And I want to talk about that instead. Don't be a beginner. Give competition a hefty amount of respect. One second. Okay. Now, when it comes to when it comes to barriers, opportunities, and risks, the opportunities are there. You got to have an innovator on. You're thinking about ways to do this well. The barriers are every wall between you and this getting to the end result or outcome. If it's a consumer or a customer, if it is a dashboard or a set of data, some level of communication, some level of engagement, whatever that final outcome of the transformation is that gives you that impact measurement, I want you to be very thorough in counting the barriers. Again, it's classic for new innovators to think of barriers that are one or two steps ahead. I want you through all the steps. Go back to that Medicaid use case. These Medicaid directors are actually feeling a lot of pressure because they want to innovate. They simply don't know how. They don't know how to engage innovation in. They have very large ships going in certain directions, and to turn that large ship at all, let alone turn it around, seems and feels impossible. So if you're inside one of those organizations, what would you do? An obstacle, obviously, most of the obstacles are the internal limitations to change capability. Good thing you did the intake form to assess the change capability of the organization. Opportunities are not just solutions to problem statements. Sometimes, while unpacking a solution to problem statement, we discover other opportunities that are just as critical or more fruitful. Maybe it is a partnership or collaboration with a complementing organization or platform. Maybe it is deepening revenue in the same customer vertical. Maybe it is some efficiency in the supply chain that wasn't there before. Or maybe in the course of thorough discovery is speaking with a subject matter expert that has new information you didn't have. Maybe you thought you knew, but trust me, we never always know everything. Third, we've gone through barriers and opportunities, now risks. Risks are um, an opportunity for you to be very thorough with understanding what the barriers are, what the opportunities are, and also any of the risks. If you want, use the visual of uh, the 3x3 square, where you can talk about low, medium, high impact for the risk and low, medium, high chance of the risk becoming a realized issue. Risk can come in all forms. Most of the risks you face in innovation have to do with internal cultural dynamics that occur within large enterprises. Sometimes they have to do with changing something. You change one thing, it doesn't just change one thing, it might change three or four. As you consider the risks, this is where hopefully you become very clear and motivated on how to scope down your solution to something very simple. I want you to be able to solve everything on your innovation. But what I really want you to do is a thorough enough discovery where you as a team can lay out the barriers, opportunities, and risks, and then scope down to just one use case. I'm happy with one use case. I'd rather you build the best mousetrap in the world than build a bunch of pieces of wood and spring and metal and hope that it all comes together, because hope is not a plan. Also, Christensen lenses applied gives us several things that go into a diagnostic map. Resource dependence, value networks, overshooting the actual outcome, small markets, large markets, supply chains. But if you've gone through Christensen's book at least once, you'll have some grasp, hopefully growing mastery of these different lenses that Christensen puts on for discovery. You know what's great uh, if you're in Copilot or Grok or any of the really good research AI tools out there, you can do discovery so fast and so thoroughly. The trick is put a completely different hat on. Anytime you think you hit a wall, step back, go back to someone else in a completely different part of the value network. For instance, if you are researching, let's move away from the Medicaid use case for a while. Let's say you're researching um, embedded car insurance, or let's say you're researching um, logistics, okay? And you know logistics. Um, and you're going to hit a wall in research pretty fast because you think you know what maybe you don't know. Because that rule of absolute means that you actually made a decision that something was what it was too early in the process instead of being open enough to just let it all flood in. So let's pick on logistics for a second. What's a different hat to wear regarding logistics? Well, of course, you have the people that are coordinating all logistics with visibility with the entire set of processes. You have the end customer. I believe some of you have been in customers of logistics if you've ever worked with other companies in this class, or if you've ever ordered from Amazon. I know you. You all have ordered something from Amazon. I can tell. That's even you, Zach. So when it comes to a different hat, that's a different hat. But let's talk about other hats. Let's talk about a regulator dealing with different types of transportation. Maybe it's in the air, maybe it's on the water, on rails, on wheels. Let's talk about the value chain that it takes to build those out. Let's talk about a hat to be worn by someone who's just on the side of the entire process and not in the middle of it. Those hats are so very different that if you do just 20 minutes of research with each hat, you're going to realize that you get past that wall and you really move in a direction that turns on the light. And that's all discovery is. It turns on the light, brings you to face all your barriers, opportunities, and risks. Now, I've set some expanded questions out there within the team mapping piece, the value you bring, resistance, blind spots, cross-pollination, even the pitch elements. So give me some visuals. Give me something that shows me you've done discovery and diagnostic on this team project. These will build up to your capstone. This map is literally the engine of your capstone. Teams that crush this map win November. You already proved with your intake forms that you are an absurdly strong cohort. Now let's prove you can turn individual brilliance into collective dominance. Let's get after it.